Hey everybody, I'm Arglefumph. This is my review for Nancy Drew, Mystery of the Seven Keys. Came out a week ago, so I've had enough time to play the game. My wife is here. Hi.
Hi.
I got her a cat. Look everybody, I got her a cat. She said she wanted a cat, so I got her the cutest little cat. He's adorable. Aww. Can we name him Yuri?
We can name him Divorce Papers.
Fine, he can hide out here. Poor Yuri.
I like how he's in the timeout position with the facing the wall in the corner. He just resembles somebody else. It didn't get me a real cat.
Okay. So, I think the game is good. I enjoyed it. I think it's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot better than the last game, Midnight in Salem. Although that's not saying much. Like a 6-hour Peppa Pig marathon is better than Midnight in Salem. So, I do like the characters, and I think the story is really good because it feels like classic Nancy Drew, and it feels like they took a lot of the complaints people had about Midnight in Salem and just used that to improve this game. It's like one of the common complaints about Midnight in Salem is that it doesn't have puzzles. And this game just has a ton of puzzles. Like it's like an hour of puzzles, and it is a long game too. Like it took me, oh gosh, 11 to 12 hours to beat it my first time through. But if you know what to do, you can beat it in like about 4 hours, I believe. So I like the length, I like the puzzles, I did like the characters. Anything else I should mention?
Are there any kitties in it?
There is a cat in it, and you have a puzzle to help save the cat. So that's nice, because the cat is stuck.
What's the kitty's name?
Mariage?
Oh,
I believe
that's weird.
The game takes place in Prague.
Okay.
So it's a
Czech name.
Czech name, yeah.
Okay. Is the kitty cute?
It is a cute cat, and I don't want to give spoilers.
Okay, then I guess that's all we need. So,
but I could talk about that puzzle because that is a one of my major problems with the game was that particular puzzle is like you need to put these various pieces on the board. Typical Nancy Drew thing. You have like 4 clues as to how the things go on the board. They're arranged, but they didn't properly test the puzzle, so there are 4 different solutions which match all the requirements, but the game only accepts one of them. And
tragedy.
That got me super stuck. It's like, oh, I had the right solution, but it's not the solution the game wants. And then I messed around a bit, and still, it was the solution the game didn't want. And I'm not the only person who ran into that problem. I did not have trouble with the latte art, but a lot of people had some sort of graphical issue with the latte art, getting stuck there. So that is unfortunate as well.
Let's see, are there any hot guys in the game? Does Nancy cheat on Ned like usual?
No. She doesn't. There's a really hot guy who shows up in like the last 2 or so minutes. Basically, he's a phone contact for the entire game, Agent Zane. But when we meet him in person at the very end, he's really hot. And, you know, everybody in the live stream chat was going crazy over the insanely hot guy who is apparently hiding in the corner like the kitty cat. Just the entire game. Yeah, I kind of wish he had been there.
That's kind of a fun surprise there.
Fun surprise at the end. I bet that's probably what most people like like that aspect of the ending more than the actual finishing the game.
So
no,
without
hot
describing
guy.
him in any other way, shape, or form, where does he rank with other hot guys in other Nancy Drew games? Is he like in the top 10? Is he the number 1?
Oh gosh, that's another thing I like.
Graphics not accounting for the fact that graphics in the older games weren't as good as the current.
That's what I was just about to say. The graphics in this game are a lot better. That was a big problem with Midnight in Salem was the characters look kind of terrible, but now they're better. They're at least on the same level of consistency, so they all look like they were made by the same group, and that's great.
Mm-hmm. But the ranking.
I don't know.
Are you gonna need a separate video for the ranking?
I've already done a video like the 10 hottest Nancy Drew guys and then 10 hottest Nancy Drew girls.
Do it because there's more people now.
With the bonus. Okay.
Yeah, now because we gotta know inquiring minds. It's all very important. Let's see. Does Nancy break any laws in this game again?
Yes, she does. It's kind of funny
Is she on vacation?
No, she was called here to Prague to catch a jewel thief.
Oh, okay, so it was on purpose. This wasn't her on vacation happened to stumble upon a crime.
No. This was Nancy purposely trying to solve the mystery. She was asked here to solve the mystery of stolen gems, and along the way she has to actually steal some diamonds too, which I thought was funny. She had to steal them from no spoilers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I could, a couple of other things, like the puzzles. I did say I like the puzzles. I'd rather be complaining the puzzles are too hard than there are no puzzles whatsoever. But some of those puzzles, it was just really hard to understand what the puzzles were even doing. Like in the older games, Nancy will probably say something like, oh, looks like I need to get all the red pieces underneath the blue pieces. Or she'll say like a brief line of dialogue at the start of the puzzle indicating what to do.
Where is this? You're just kind of thrown to the wall.
You're thrown in a puzzle with no instructions, and half the time you can't access your hint meter, which I thought was odd. So, like, every single instance of the puzzle, the Cyberblock puzzle, I thought that was a good puzzle, but you can't access your hints at all during that puzzle. And I imagine anybody who got stuck on that was really upset. Same thing with like a big final puzzle towards the end, you can't see any hints for that puzzle. It's like, it really would have been very helpful if they didn't like close off Nancy's access to her phone, because that's how you access her hints in this particular game. Other times, the hints did not help. So like, puzzle in the museum. Like there's a puzzle in the museum where you have to try to set something to the correct position. And I needed hints desperately. So the hint says, you find the puzzle in the museum.
Oh,
that's as in-depth as the hints go for that particular puzzle. And so if you watch my playthrough, it's like, boy, Michael does 20 minutes of just on this one puzzle because he doesn't know what the goal is he's trying to accomplish.
At least now that you're done, you're going to do another walkthrough where you actually know what you're doing and it isn't just a blind man stumbling in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, I did a video which is just a full playthrough, just the entire game with no commentary. And I'm going to do like an official, I guess a walkthrough, probably split up into 20-minute videos. Mm-hmm. I think that leaves me...
That would be cool.
That made me think of another problem with the game is sometimes the triggers are hard. Even with the task list hints, they can be hard. So like, there's 3 times like something in your task list says, do this later. But it doesn't say when later is. So like, we meet Leo, he says, hey, meet me in my office later. And then you just have to know when that later is. Because the game comes to a grinding halt until you realize, oh, this is the exact moment where I need to visit his office.
Ah, that's special.
Yeah, I'm using the later as the example because that was the one that really I did not like, and it happened 3 times. But there are other times where it's like, it's hard to know what the trigger is, what you need to do next, because you have to do things in a specific order. I guess another example is Nancy getting the email from the Hardy Boys. And, no, they want her to get a computer so she can download some file. And, like, she has to get to the computer, and then she has to do, like, 5 other things before she actually uses her computer. I'm like, no! I want to read her email from the Hardy Boys right away. What are you doing, game?
Now, is one of the tasks to go get the wife a cat?
No. But find the Wi-Fi password. You have a cat. He's right here.
No,
he's so
people
pretty.
in the comments. I
Hello.
need your support. You've come to my aid once before. I need you to continue the pressure campaign on Arglefumph to get the wife a cat.
Okay. That's enough silliness. I do feel kind of bad for the Hardy Boys because they're just one phone call. I mean, that's it. That's all there in the game. And same with Nancy's dad. He's only one phone call. And I could imagine you could, like, rewrite the game just to kind of leave them out of it completely. They could only be, like, a text message.
But the cat's very important to the game, isn't it?
I do like the text
cats
messages.
Are very important to life.
I didn't like how... I don't know. Maybe it's just as a complaint, but like the Hardy Boys and Nancy's dad, you know, they only have the one phone conversation, but they're on the contact list for the entire game. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that is legitimately lame.
I thought Ned was okay though. Ned was nice. I saw some people The weird moment in the game, like day number 2 or something, you pick up the phone and that's like, Nancy, I wish I had better news.
We got a cat.
No. And I was like, what? Did someone have a heart attack? What's going on, Ned? And he's like, I wasn't able to find any information on the group you asked for. I'm like, whoa, Ned, way to be super dramatic for no reason.
He's lucky Nancy didn't cheat on him in this game.
Well, she couldn't have because the hot guy doesn't show up until the very end. I think the other guy, maybe he was supposed to be the hot guy, the quirky one, Radek. I liked him. I didn't like his puppet puzzle. His puppet puzzle has 7 rounds, and it's like, I feel like should have been 3 rounds in amateur sleuth mode, maybe just 5 rounds in master sleuth.
So he lost some points for that?
Yeah, he lost all his points.
Internet thing where he's a 10, but he's got a puppet puzzle.
And so now he's a 7.
Yeah, basically.
Music's fine. I think they could have had a bit more variation to the music, but it's okay. I did like how they have 2 control schemes. I think that was something else that the fans really wanted, because a lot of complaints with Midnight in Salem were like, I want the classic style back, and this game gave it back. So instead of just... So you have 2 control schemes. One is just the classic Nancy Drew point-and-click adventure style, because everybody wanted the point-and-click. Whereas the other one, I feel like the game is supposed to be played in that one, the modern scheme with the up, down, left, right buttons to move around. I did like running through the courtyard and the scenery and stuff like that, but I think the scenery is so big that it really should be played on the move around freely mode. I did notice our people have been sharing pictures of like how accurate it is. Like that's what the actual courtyard looks like, both of the courtyards.
I wonder what it look like with a cat in it.
In real life, they're like 20.
Kitty.
In real life, we've got a ginger kitty right here. And in real life, they're like 20 minutes apart. And in this game, they're just like 1 fence apart. So, but other than that, it's cool. It's great. There are like random NPCs wandering around, and that was strange, but also funny as well. Because, like this one woman, there's like 10 copies of her just wandering around in the courtyard. And I thought that was funny. My final score for the game is going to be an 8 out of 10. That seems to be the common consensus about the game, that it is good. It's way better than Midnight in Salem. People like how they made good changes to make it a lot more like the old Nancy Drew games. But some of those puzzles were a real bummer, especially because you have no idea what to do. And some of the triggers were also a real bummer. Oh, they have the thing where like you have your task list telling you what to do next, but there are hidden items on the task list. Like you have to do them, but they're not on the task list. Such as you need to have a phone conversation with Ned. Yeah, and that's...
So you're just randomly clicking around getting pissed.
Some people were, yes. In fact, that's exactly what happened. So I feel like that's something people have been bringing against the game as well. So that's probably why everyone has pretty much settled on an 8 out of 10 for the score for this game. So thanks for watching my review. I'll probably do another review later where I talk about the game and every single thing in detail. My spoiler-filled review, probably like an hour long. I don't know.
Are you going to spoil whether we get a cat or not?
No, there's no cat. Because we have him right here. Goodbye, everybody.
It's tragic. All right, good night.